Have you ever had a moment when something seemed to protect you, inspire you, or push you in the right direction, even if you didn't understand why? What if I told you that in those moments, you may have been under the direct guidance of your spirit guides? Hello, awakened soul. Welcome to Rational Spirituality, your space to connect with the invisible, with the mysteries of the universe, and with yourself. Today I'm going to show you 7 spiritual signs that indicate you're being guided, even if you don't know it. If this topic already touches your intuition, like it, subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Sign number 1. Unlikely coincidences, synchronicities. You're thinking about someone you haven't seen in years, and then they call you. Or you open a book at random and find a sentence that answers exactly a question that was bothering you. At first glance, it all seems like a coincidence, but when these events become frequent or carry an intense emotional charge, we enter the territory of synchronicity. This term, coined by Carl Jung, describes events that seem random but have a profound meaning, as if the universe or something beyond it is trying to communicate with you. Synchronicities are one of the most delicate and mysterious ways in which our spirit guides manifest themselves. They respect our free will, so they rarely interfere in any direct or dramatic way. Instead, they subtly create connections between events, people, and signs to give us clues that we're on the right path, or to alert us that we need to change direction. It's as if they're the invisible conductors of a cosmic orchestra, adjusting the notes so that you hear the melody your soul needs to recognize. The more aligned you are with your intuition, the easier it is to perceive these coincidences as spiritual messages. The secret is in paying attention. The more you observe the flow of life with presence and awareness, the more evident the hidden pattern behind encounters, words, and situations becomes. It's not magic in the traditional sense, it's synchronicity between your vibrational field and the higher intelligence that guides you. Start noting the coincidences that mark you, and you'll realize that you're being guided much more than you imagine. Sign number 2. Unexplained feelings of peace or protection. Imagine going through a difficult time, doubts, anguish, worries, and suddenly, for no apparent reason, a deep feeling of peace settles in your heart. It's as if time slows down for a moment, and you simply know that somehow everything is going to be okay. This kind of feeling often arises in moments of great pressure or transition, and there is no logical explanation. You may even try to rationalize it, but deep down you know something greater is surrounding you, supporting you, and taking care of you. This feeling of invisible protection is one of the most profound signs that spirit guides, angels, or beings of light are around you. They don't have to manifest themselves physically. Often their presence reveals itself through the energy they transmit. It's like a silent hug, a gentle wave of warmth, or an inner breeze that clears your thoughts and calms your emotions. Many people report feeling this during prayer, meditation, or even at random times of the day when they least expect it. The beautiful thing is that you don't have to earn this protection. It's always there, especially when you need it most. Our guides know when we're feeling lost or vulnerable, and it's at those times that they come closer with greater intensity. When you feel this sudden peace, don't dismiss it as something trivial. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and acknowledge you are being guided, supported, and loved, even if you can't yet clearly see who's there with you. Sign number 3. Sudden changes of direction with a feeling of relief. Sometimes life takes us down paths that seem logical, safe, or even promising, but then suddenly something inside us changes. It could be a seemingly impulsive decision to cancel an appointment, change course, turn down an opportunity, or even end a relationship. And the most curious thing, instead of regret or doubt, there comes an immediate sense of relief, as if something invisible had gently pulled us away from a risk or a path that no longer belonged to us. That sense of relief after an unexpected decision is a clear sign of spiritual intervention. Often, our guides guide us through sudden intuitions, external signs, or small emotional nudges. They respect our free will, but when we are open and connected, they take advantage of every opportunity to align us with our soul's path. This change, of course, may seem irrational to others, and even to ourselves, but it carries a greater wisdom that over time always reveals itself. Pay attention to those moments when something just doesn't feel right, and when you change. Your mind, a weight seems to lift off your shoulders. This is the kind of guidance that comes straight from the spiritual realm. You may never find out exactly what you avoided, or you may only realize the benefits of that sudden turnaround later. But the important thing is to trust. When the universe whispers and you listen, relief is the first sign that you're headed in the right direction. Sign number 4. Dreams about messages or people who have already passed away. Dreams have always been mysterious gateways between the visible and the invisible, between the conscious and the spiritual. When you dream about a deceased person, especially if the dream is vivid, emotionally charged, and conveys some clear message or feeling, it's quite possible that you're experiencing a real spiritual encounter. It's not just your mind accessing memories. Often it's the soul of that person coming to you to comfort, guide, or reassure you that all is well. These dreams don't follow the same pattern as a regular dream. They have a different quality. You wake up remembering every detail, feeling the presence as if it were still there, with a peace or intense emotion that remains throughout the day. In some cases, the person simply smiles, looks you in the eye, or says something short but meaningful. Other times, the dream brings symbols or scenarios that gradually make sense in your waking life. These are moments when your guides or loved ones are trying to communicate to ease your pain, protect your journey, or indicate something important that you may be ignoring. Receiving these messages in dreams is a spiritual gift. The more you welcome these encounters with love and attention, the more receptive you become to new communications. Keeping a dream journal, saying a prayer before bed, or simply giving thanks for these signs can deepen your connection to the spiritual realm even further. Remember, when we sleep, our souls move more freely, and in this silence of the mind, our deepest truths can finally be heard. Sign number 5. Strong and accurate intuitions. How many times have you had that inexplicable feeling that something was right or wrong, even without any logical evidence? That inner voice that whispers a choice, a direction, a caution. And later you realize that following that feeling avoided a problem or led you to an incredible opportunity. That's intuition in action. And more than that, it can be a clear sign that you're being spiritually guided by something greater. Intuition is not a simple hunch or guess. It is a type of silent wisdom that comes from within, but is deeply connected to the subtle plane. When your spirit guides, your angels, or even your higher self want to guide you, they often use this intuitive pathway to send impressions, perceptions, or alerts that come as physical sensations. Butterflies in the stomach, a heat in the chest, a chill, insistent thoughts, or a certainty that cannot be explained. These signals are, in fact, spiritual responses translated into inner language. The key is to learn to trust. Many people distrust their intuition because they were taught to prioritize only rationality. But when you start listening to and following these impulses more carefully, you will notice that life flows with more ease and purpose. Intuition becomes a true GPS of the soul, calibrated by forces that want your best. So the next time that feeling arises, even if it seems illogical, take a deep breath and consider, what if this is the universe's way of showing me the way? Sign number 6. Obstacles that seem to protect you. Not every delay is a punishment. Not every closed door is a failure. Sometimes what seems like a problem is actually a subtle form of spiritual protection. How many times have you been frustrated because something didn't work out, only to realize later that it saved you from a bad situation, a dead-end path, or an energy that wasn't meant for you? These obstacles are often silent interventions from your spiritual guides, gently steering you away from paths that no longer serve you. This kind of guide doesn't show up with trumpets or flashing danger ahead signs. He acts intelligently, closing doors that you haven't yet realized are inappropriate. It could be a contract that doesn't come to fruition, a trip that gets postponed, a relationship that ends unexpectedly. At the time, it hurts. It makes you angry. It seems unfair. But over time, the penny drops. Thank goodness that didn't happen. And it's at that moment that you begin to see obstacles not as enemies, but as spiritual barriers of protection carefully placed in your path. This kind of synchronicity is a powerful reminder that there is a greater wisdom watching over you, behind the scenes in your life. And the more you develop the sensitivity to perceive this, the more peace you will find even in uncertain days. Learning to be grateful for life's no's is a sign of spiritual maturity and of trusting in the guides who, even when invisible, are always working on your behalf. Sign number 7, repetition of symbols. Numbers and words. You look at your watch and it's 11:11. Then you get a message at exactly 10:22 p.m. You go out and see the same sequence on a car's license plate. This happens so often that it seems impossible for it to be just a coincidence. In fact, it's not. The repetition of numbers, symbols, or even specific words is one of the most subtle and fascinating ways in which the spiritual world communicates with us. These signals, known as numerical synchronicities or vibrational signals, are like little nudges from the universe saying, "Hey, we're here for you." Numbers carry specific frequencies and messages. 111 can indicate a portal of manifestation. 222 speaks of balance. 333 refers to the presence of spiritual masters around you, and so on. In addition to numbers, symbols such as feathers, butterflies, stars, or even the same word that is repeated in conversations, books, or videos, all of these can be codes of the invisible. When you start to observe with attention and openness, you realize that the universe is always trying to talk to you, and spiritual guides use everything they have at their disposal to make you stop and reflect. These signs are invitations for you to return to your center and listen to your intuition. They are not there to give you ready-made answers, but to remind you that you are not alone and that there is a silent language guiding your journey. Paying attention to these repetitions is like learning a new language. At first it seems strange, but little by little, your heart begins to understand and connect with this higher form of communication, and that changes everything. These signs often go unnoticed in our daily lives, but the more you become aware, the easier it is to recognize them. Your guides are always nearby, discreet but attentive. The truth is that you have never been alone. The universe talks to you all the time. You just have to be silent inside and listen. What about you? Have you noticed any of these signs in your life? Comment below. I read them all and love seeing how the invisible manifests itself in such a unique way for each person. Thank you for being here. If this content touched your heart like the video, activate the bell and share this message with anyone who needs to remember that they are being guided. Until the next episode, and remember, when the mind is silent, the soul listens.